And this is The Good, the Bad, and the Mustard. And we review anime online. And this is a podcast that we're going to do in which we review anime in. So, how you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm all right.
All right. And you?
So let's get into the nitty gritty of this right now.
Nitty-gritty? Okay, what anime are we reviewing today?
This week the first week we're doing Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann, all right.
So I'm about to say, believe in the me that believes in you, and pierce the heaven with your drill. Michael, we both know what we mean by that.
Amen.
Well, guess it had to be said.
Whatever. Okay. So, what are opening thoughts about Gurren Lagann? What did you guys go into it thinking?
I saw Entertainment, the app on the Xbox, and I had no idea what it was. I saw a redhead chick with big boobs in a short bikini, and I thought it'd be interesting.
I heard it was a little bit bizarre from other people's thoughts about it, but I wasn't sure what to go in thinking about it because I had only heard scattered information. But I do have to admit that it wasn't what I expected. Not necessarily in a bad way.
I went into it. It was really funny because I figured it out from Kamina because I saw a character countdown on YouTube, and Kamina was one of the characters that they were listing there, and I was like, this looks like a good show. This looks like a good character. I'm gonna watch it.
So speaking of characters, which character are we going to talk about first? Yoko, Kamina, or Simon?
I know you want to talk about Yoko. You always want to talk about Yoko.
Yeah, you're the favorite of the group. You know you are.
Well, I'd say we could talk about Simon first because he's the main character. So
yeah, he is kind of well, should we start with how it starts, or his backstory, or just him in general?
Him in general.
Yeah. So you want to explain it?
I'll start. So Simon was the loser in the beginning. He was just a loser who loved to dig.
Basically.
And then one day, not a Gundam, but it was totally a Gundam. It was totally a Gundam.
Yeah, the robots or mechas in this anime, they call them gunmen, and they're piloted by these little weird animal creatures. Whatever.
They're piloted by beastmen.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you let me get to that, but okay.
Well, because Roland's plot synopsis is kind of vague and weird.
I think we should leave the plot synopsis to either myself or Michael.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. The story starts with Simon and Kamina, who live underground in a underground city, whose name I actually forget. I think it has a name.
It has a name. No, it wasn't Tengen. It was
they have names.
I know,
but
yeah.
And one day the ceiling collapses, and there is a giant robot that is invading their village.
We left
accidentally.
I don't mean to, Michael.
What is that?
Important thing out. We cannot discuss Simon without talking a little bit about Kamina first.
We'll get to that. I'm just doing the plot synopsis first.
All right.
And basically, they meet this girl named Yoko, who is a sniper, and she's been fighting a war against
other things.
She's been fighting a war against these giant robots for control of Earth. And Simon and Kamina both go and help her, and they pierce the heavens with their heavenly drills and stuff.
So to speak.
Yeah.
So to speak.
So Kamina is kind of a big brother figure to Simone, I would say.
He is the big brother figure for Simone. He's very confident in pretty much anything that he does. He has no fear whatsoever, even to these gargantuan robots.
Well, Kamina is not only just a big brother. He's also more of a childhood friend. Because when we first see Kamina, they're trying to get to the surface by using these mopeds, and it fails. Remainder of Team Gurren's we're done with you. We want to eat. and Simon was the only one who stuck by Kamina's side.
Which pretty much in the long run was a in the sense of the word, it was plot armor later on in the anime, but I don't know if we're gonna get to that.
It was the day that changed everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was the day that changed everything for sure. So, how did you guys think of the show in the end after you watched it? Like, what were you disappointed in it, or were you like?
Actually, I was actually my favorite my favorite scene in the entire anime. Minutes of the show itself, where Simon is an old man, and you see Gurren Lagann fly past, and Simon starts talking to the little kid. The little kid doesn't know who Simon is, and Simon says, who the kid doesn't answer, and Simon just goes, "Yeah, I'm just a nobody."
Even though, man, you're gonna have to put a spoiler alert in the title.
You'll go with it. So, but did you like really like the show, or did you?
Yeah. I went into it not knowing anything, and I immediately loved it from the first 5 minutes.
I went expecting something over the top, so I wasn't disappointed. I certainly liked it, and it's one of my favorite fun shows to watch.
Well, yeah, it should be. Your icon is Kamina.
Kamina's awesome, man. Kamina's my favorite.
Can't disagree with that.
Anybody who watches Gurren Lagann and doesn't like Kamina, I don't know about you.
My favorite character is actually
He's pretty cool.
all I was gonna say is my favorite character is Zero.
Yeah. What about you, Austin? What do you think of the show?
At first when I went into it, it was a little bit boring for me. That was at the beginning because I was not expecting how over the top it was. In later episodes, it was kind of boring when they were in the cave, and it started to catch up more and more as they went on. And then when second season came around, I was completely enthralled in it, and I pretty much watched it all. I pretty much all just watched it all together. And I was not disappointed. It was way over the top. It was worth watching. I'd recommend it definitely.
Actually, we never told you about this, Mike, but me and Austin went to a convention one time, and we saw a not too bad Kamina cosplayer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing epic one-liners?
Which leads me to believe he's a popular character.
Oh, he's definitely a popular character.
Oh yeah, he's very popular.
Even after, spoiler alert, he dies in Gurren Lagann. You can still feel his presence throughout the series.
Towards the end, towards the middle of the first season, I think.
Like, Simon's he's practically a clone. Like,
spoiler alert.
Don't
but
worry.
do you guys remember?
I don't think you have to keep saying spoiler alert. It'll be in the title.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the spoiler.
Do you guys remember?
What's that
I want to say it was like.
That was the Watcher.
I want to say it was like episode 15-ish, where Simon's in the dream state and he sees Kamina again. It's not.
That was near the middle of the series.
Yeah, episode 15-ish, where he sees he sees Kamina again, but it's not Kamina, and Kamina is not acting like Kamina. He's like a very big coward now.
He's telling Simon to give up, quit what he's doing now, and of course, Simon didn't believe that, and that made him snap back to reality.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. Showed like the inner turmoil inside Simon, and how he's kind of fighting to be this.
What I think the episode I think that shows the best example of him, like you said, fighting at the loss of his brother and his role model and stuff like that, is the episode where
it's not just fighting for the loss of his brother. It's the fight. It's the struggle to become a true leader like Kamina was. Leader and to become So what do you guys think about the animation of the show?
I thought the animation was extremely over the top, but not so much over the top that it was a turnoff.
Okay.
The animation for me, I agree, kind of was a turnoff at first, but I got used to it as time went on. I noticed that, and a little side note is that I noticed in the fourth episode, I think it was something like that,
Yep.
the animation seemed even more choppy than usual. And as I learned
I think a
from,
separate person directed that episode, if I remember.
yeah, as I found out later, way after watching the series from the YouTube channel Did You Know Anime, you can look them up; they're pretty good. That was actually done by someone else because people were complaining about the choppy and bad animation in the first 3 episodes, and people stopped complaining after that, and they went on back to their regular animation. And I guess it worked considering how successful the anime was.
Well, for me, the animation was fine, except for the fourth episode, because the fourth episode, the animation quality drops substantially there. It's kind of an out of place episode anyway, because they don't really do anything.
Well, like animation wise, what I really liked, was in the first episode when Kamina is looking down, right? He's looking down at the other teammates, and you see like all the extra lines on like his nose and his face, and it's just like that's kind of like a sketch thing, holding to the manga kind of thing. I really like that.
That is one thing I really appreciated in Gurren Lagann was the sketchy lines that it has in it, especially when even if you watch the intro,
it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Like especially during the boss fights and stuff.
Yeah.
During the finale and that. So, what about story wise? Or did Austin? Did you? Yeah, you went. So, what about story wise?
You want to start off, Austin, or you want me to?
I'll do it. So I thought the story was. I thought throughout the whole thing it was okay until they went through the 7-year time skip, and Nia was actually part of the thing known as the anti-spiral, which is kind of like the final antagonist of the series. Mess up my words there. Oops. And then after that, I thought it was a pretty good story. Again, over the top. That was definitely a present factor since they ended up taking control of the ship that was inside the fake moon or whatever, and they just kept growing and growing the size of their spaceships, and it was pretty much a battle with galaxies. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. As for how the story actually went, I think they were trying to be kind of vague with their normal conversations. It's kind of hard to explain, but it draws you away from it when you switch from the over-the-top action that it's known for to the long amounts of talking. Now, I'm not saying that will turn people away from it, but if you're there for the action and solely for the action, you might have to deal with some bland conversations, but other than that,
it's kind of like a
good story.
jump.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Gurren Lagann is they try to explain what spirals are. They just don't. They could have done a better job explaining what spiral energy is and what the anti-spirals are.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Michael.
That's fine. You go. I forgot what I was going to say.
All I was going to say is story-wise was near the end, and I'll get to the end here in a sec. I thought the beginning of the turmoil and reaching your dreams and stuff like that was a really good mechanic. You put these characters are growing, and then they face these huge turmoils. Like when Kamina finds out his dad is dead, and he goes ape shit after that, and then after the 7-year time skip, and like Mike Austin said, and they keep just growing and growing, and have all these big gadgets and all these other ships. Similarly, you've gotten all this stuff after you've conquered all your past turmoil. Now you're ready for the final boss, if you will.
Look at you using simile in a sentence.
Him not knowing the difference between a simile and a metaphor.
Oh. You guys don't know we pick on Roland because he's kind of I don't know.
He's kind of a dingus, but he's our friend, so.
Kind of a dingus, yep.
To set the record straight, I only act stupid because I find acting smart is really boring.
True.
Acting smart is really boring. Yep, it was very true. I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I like the story up until the time skip because the story wasn't really. It didn't take itself seriously. The entire show really didn't take itself seriously until
The story was kind of there, and they just poked fun at it.
Yeah, they kind of just they just messed around with it.
They
And
poked
then
a
the time
lot
skip
of.
comes, and then you get politics involved, and it just didn't work for the few episodes.
Yeah, they poked a lot of comedic holes in the first season, just for fun. But then they tried to act all serious in the second season, and it kind of changed how some people viewed it. Some for the worse, some for the better. I personally liked the time skip after, but I do believe that's just a matter of opinion.
I like how they
out there who are wondering what's the second season. There isn't a second season. It's just split. Like it's split.
You have the first 11 episodes, and then you have like the other 11 episodes.
I just consider it to be two different seasons because everything's changed after the time skip halfway through. Plus, the opening is different.
No, it's not.
It's the same opening. The lyrics are different.
Oh.
Plus, the frames are changed, so there's different screens.
What was I gonna say?
No, what about music?
The music was really cool. I thought the music was very well placed and was very needed in the scenes that it was in. Like when Viral fights Kanye for the first time, you get that really good electric guitar riff, and then it's like watching a Dragon Ball Z movie. You get the rock music, you get the action, and then it just combines into both.
I'm gonna say I didn't really care for the music, but tSueUsWeAreBroke days, guys. It's awesome.
I do think the music helped save certain points in the anime. It wasn't necessarily something that was required. You could have used something worse. I think it would have had definitely lesser impact if you had used different music. They hit a good note, no pun intended, with the music. It helped bring up my how I view the anime, so to speak. It's kind of hard to get what I'm trying to say. It helped save the anime on certain aspects. Yeah, that's
like I get what you're saying. Like, take Bleach for instance. There's a lot of awkward moments in Bleach where if there wasn't some like funny kind of weird music, it'd just be really really weird and silent, and you wouldn't really get what's going on.
The music. Sometimes music in anime will draw you in, especially with openings. Like the art of using an opening for an anime definitely helps bring in a viewer's attention. Like, remember when Attack on Titan first came out, and the opening set people crazy into the anime. Like,
amazing. The show's amazing, yay! And
turns out it's actually really kind of overrated. Now I don't really hate it. I think I think the animation is good. I think the story has a lot of holes in it, but we'll save that for another review.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
Okay, the composer Gurren Lagann, it is Taku Iwasaki. I get this right, then awesome. And
for all of you who can't see,
he did.
I'm wearing a Full Metal Alchemist shirt.
Oh, Miss Cool stuff. He did Rurouni Kenshin, Trust and Betrayal, the music for it, as well as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle Tendency.
Really?
So this guy has quite a legacy of brilliant soundtracks.
And Noragami.
Which Michael hates.
Noragami was alright. Soundtrack.
I don't like. I openly dislike Noragami.
So, are we going to explain why he doesn't like Noragami, or
we'll save that for
why he
We
doesn't like?
can talk about that some other time. Like, well, we can talk about it now. We can talk about it now. It's a little tangent thing. I just don't like. I don't like. What's his name?
You don't like Yato?
Yato?
Yeah, he's an
You're
idiot.
gonna get so much flame for that dude.
Come out, Yato fangirls. He also licks Yukume in the manga, so it's kind of weird.
We don't talk about mangas here. It's anime only because that's. I don't know. I think we went with anime just because we've seen more anime more than I think I've only read like one volume of a Naruto manga, and that's it. I've never read a manga.
I read until volume 7 of Monster Musume.
But Austin, you don't realize without manga, none of the animes is canon. Full Metal Alchemist.
Ha.
Oh boy. So yeah, that's that. Um, let's see. So what do you guys think of the show as a whole?
Overall, as a whole,
As a whole overall, do you think it?
I
is-
liked it.
You liked it. Okay.
It
Go into
it
depth.
kept me entertained.
Every show
Well,
has its flaws, but
I
I
like-
think Gurren Lagann has earned my respect.
I feel like
What I
you go.
what I really liked was I liked the character development. As little as there was, I liked what they did with it, even when there wasn't.
Okay. There
Well,
was a pretty good amount of character development. Like
I
there
meant
was
like in
the
comparison
problem-
to like Naruto or like Bleach or something like that. There's
Yeah,
not.
but-
Well, that's just non-existent.
Not surprising.
well, like what I mean is like a lot of people might not see the character development because of all like the over-the-top humor and all the over-the-top action and stuff like that.
I think people see character development rolling. I mean, Simone turns from a crying baby at the beginning to
A Kamina
main
copy.
character. So
True.
I think people see it. The thing is, the character development is great for that, for Simone, but I don't think the other characters really got it very much.
Well, Yoko
I
got
think
some of
Yoko
it.
pretty much
Yoko
stayed
got
the same
some,
completely.
Like, aside from that, like Yoko becomes a school teacher, but like aside from that, what else?
Well, she's a little depressed in like a little bit of the final fight, worried about Simone ending
Well,
up like.
like other than Yoko and Simone, like those are the two who got character development.
Well, no,
Kamina
Kamina
is too early for it to happen.
No, actually, he does get a little bit character development. He does get
he kisses Yoko once, and then he dies.
That's the kiss
That's
of death,
not
dude.
what-
That one, I can't remember his name
Kiss
for
of
the life
death.
of me, but that blonde guy with the 3 sisters, he ended up kissing Yoko right before the fight with the anti-spiral, and he got himself
And he
killed.
dies too. Yeah,
But no, Kamina got character development.
guess I'm gonna die then.
In like the first 10 episodes he was around, it's all about like his father, being reunited with his father, going to the surface, being with his father because he was
But he
too
never
shit-
does. That's the thing.
because his father dies and that guilt eats at him.
too.
That he was too chicken to be on the surface with his dad when his dad was alive, and how nobody believed him about the
Scared when he
surface.
was younger. But yeah.
So-
So final thoughts. Any final thoughts about Gurren Lagann?
Oh,
Oh wait, I got a question. I got a question for you guys. Because people might ask this. I don't know if they might have heard enough about this, but why not? Kill la Kill was also made by the same people, the same group of people, basically, as Gurren Lagann.
Well, I can definitely
I
see
like-
it now that you say that.
I
what
liked
is-
I liked Kill la Kill. I thought
Yes, I know you do.
I admit
Well, no,
I
like-
dropped it. I really did. They had that really good fight. Part ways through. I can't remember what episode it was, and I forget.
I liked all the fights. I'm gonna be honest. I really liked all the fights, mainly because I could care less about the story. Scissors and clothes come to life. Woo, big deal. I really like the over the top. I like how Kill la Kill was not good as Gurren Lagann. I'm gonna say that right now.
Definitely, yeah, no. Kill la Kill is not nearly as good as Gurren Lagann.
Not
But-
an animation, story, voice
But-
acting. For
but-
one.
Slipped because they lost their budget.
But
So.
let me finish. What I did like, besides the battles, is like Gurren Lagann, they were able to keep it really over the top and really funny, and that's what I enjoyed about it. And those lines, man, they kept those lines.
They did. They made those lines a legacy among the community.
You guys, okay? So you guys know the teacher in Kill la Kill, right?
Hmm.
The dude with the purple hair, or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
The stripper.
Yeah, his Japanese voice actor is the same as Kamina's Japanese voice actor. You didn't know?
Wow, nice, interesting.
I believe that is the case. It's either him or the needle gun guy. I think it's the. I'll look that up actually.
Well, wasn't the needle guy gun played by like the same guy who did Frankie from One Piece?
I have
Don't
no
ask me any
idea.
questions about One Piece. I don't intend to start watching it because when I do, I'm gonna have to finish it.
Well, like I don't remember what else he was in. and Frankie's like the number one thing. He was Beerus. No, that wasn't Beerus.
Hold on. I have a small list of it. Okay. He did
Should we just
from
skip this part?
Gurren Lagann, America from Hitalia, Tatsumi Oga Saris from Beelzebub. Let's see.
Well, anyways, a lot of other people.
Who cares? So, a lot of other people, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of other people from a lot of other animes.
But yeah, what about you, Austin? What did you think of Kill la Kill in relation to Gurren Lagann?
Well, kind of like I said before, it plays second fiddle to Gurren Lagann in all aspects: animation, voice acting, story. Oh god, what's it called?
What story?
Soundtrack.
It's
Soundtrack, music, yeah.
Yeah.
Kill la Kill had no.
You know what? I'd say the music in Kill la Kill is better than Gurren Lagann. There's better soundtracks in
It's
it.
debatable. All right.
Some songs were better. I'm not gonna lie.
Lose Your Way was used way too much, but
Yeah.
Sasuke's mom's theme.
Ragyo's theme was alright.
Ragyo's theme, what was it called? Blumenkrantz? That was pretty good.
Ah, fuck. I don't remember. I have it on my playlist. Oh.
Okay, so one other thing we should do. I don't know if are we doing this or not. Are we gonna each give our own individual ratings from 1 to 10?
That is how it's gonna work, people. Individual ratings.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
I'll
go.
Okay.
All right.
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Rolling. Yep.
I will give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I will give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. So I'm in the middle. And I use decimal to hipsters.
So that's
so overall,
that's a 25.5 out of 30.
So, yeah. Or an 8.5
Yeah.
average.
So there you go. From the
So-
sound of that, we would recommend watching this if you haven't already. It's kind of old now, so maybe you have.
It's 2000.
I would not just recommend this to anyone. I would specifically recommend this to beginners starting new anime and wanting something to kickstart them off.
If you watch Gurren Lagann, you'll probably be comfortable with most other anime that are out there. I think
Yeah.
it's really over the top. So,
in a lot of ways, it holds true to classic animes, over the topness, stuff like that. So I believe it's a really good beginning anime.
I would say it's a good anime for anybody who likes Gainax, because that is the studio who made Gurren Lagann.
But now they're kaput.
And they're kaput, yeah, because Trigger happened and then everything else happened. But so other shows, they're like Gurren Lagann that you recommend is basically, well, from what I recommend, a lot of shows from Gainax. So, like Kill la Kill, although Kill la Kill's from Trigger, but the same group of people. Evangelion, definitely Evangelion.
Evangelion is a masterpiece.
If you like the mechs, then Evangelion.
Yeah.
A lot more serious story, but who cares? Cool mech fights.
Yeah. Like when Kamina grabs Viro's head and just puts it on, and now we have two faces.
What about? Let's see. What about you, Austin? What would you recommend people watch?
What do you mean? Like for those who have finished it?
For those who liked Gurren Lagann, what would you recommend that would be like? Kind of like it.
That's kind of a tough question, I think, because like Roland said, it's a definite starter anime, something you should watch first. But
it's definitely kind of a unique thing, yeah.
I'm not sure technically what anime it could relate to. It's it's broad and over the top. I would say and I know that this one, if you're just starting anime and you haven't seen it, but if you like the over the top aspect of Gurren Lagann, then Attack on Titan might be something you want to watch. Again, it's not the best. It's not. I know. It's not the best anime. It's way mainstream. But, at the same time, if you're looking for over-the-top action, that's kind of a good place to find it.
I would say, okay, Roland, you're going to probably agree with me on this. If you like Gurren Lagann and you want to see more things that are kind of weird like Gurren Lagann, because Gurren Lagann's kind of weird.
In its own weird way.
LCL. FLCL will be a great.
Yes.
Really cool.
FLCL is another great beginner anime. FLCL, it's only like 6 episodes long, but it's so extremely over the top. And if you're not used to that, like right off the bat, you can get lost and confused pretty easily. God knows I did when I first started. I had to watch it like 3 times in a row just to understand the first episode.
FLCL is definitely something else. It's basically undescribable.
Now, I can't say this because I haven't really seen it, or, well, I'm going to say it, but I can't really confirm this. I know, or I think I know, that it's weird, definitely. Over the top, like you guys are saying. I don't know whether or not I'm going to watch it. I probably am, just for the point of reviewing it in the future.
We're gonna do it in the future.
Like Michael said, if you like Gurren Lagann, there's a good chance you'll like Furikuri.
Well, there
just
you go.
because of how weird it is and how funny and quirky the characters are.
I'll have to trust you.
Yep. FLCL, cool show. Just like Gurren Lagann.
What else do we talk about here?
Also, FLCL also had the lines in it too.
That is true. Yep. It's because it's also by Gainax.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Animation.
So, and I'm going to drop one last thing about Furikuri. If you like guitars, you'll like FLCL.
So, for those people who also are interested in FLCL, then it's getting new episodes in 2017. Studio Gainax, because Gainax is dead, is no longer doing it.
Which worries me.
Production IG is taking over because Production IG helped out in the original release, and it's scheduled for 2017, and it has 12 episodes. Bam!
I'll have to make sure to watch that as soon as I finish Furikuri as well.
I'm just gonna say this.
Well, and why is it? Were you?
It worries me because I realize Gainax is dead. They're bankrupt. They're gone. But usually when another studio picks up where one studio left off, or it's a revamp or / continuation of an older series, it doesn't do as well, and it doesn't maintain the magic of the original, if you will.
Well, that's something that's hard to pull off, though.
I will say this. Production IG has a decent track record with things like that. It's just that the Gainax-ness of the show,
won't be there.
It won't be there, but I think that if Studio Trigger actually went in and did some of it, it could possibly be like the original.
It could be salvageable.
Because Trigger is basically all of
Gainax
anyway.
I just choose to have faith right now before I even start it.
Good people Gainax does. And for those who don't know what Production IG have done, they did Ghost in the Shell Stained Complex, as well as
which is one that we are going to review eventually, by the way. Stick around for that.
Yeah, definitely. We got to do
all
that.
3 of them, baby. All 3.
All 3. Yay.
Oh, by the way, guys, not you, I'm talking to the audience. Something we haven't said already in this podcast. There are and we have planned so far, we have over 300 episodes. So don't be worried if we don't include your anime just yet. We will get to it eventually.
And if you have any recommendations for us, let us know. We'll add it to the list.
Definitely. And if your recommendation is already on the list, then the episode will come out someday.
Someday. We can't guarantee when.
Except for Nichijou, that's like 301 on the list. So
yeah, but we're not going by list. I mean, Gurren Lagann is number 17 on our list.
That's true.
So the next one we're doing is Code Geass, if I'm not mistaken.
That is.
Roland still needs to finish that. He has a week to do so.
Yeah, Roland, get on it.
Yeah, it's not that long. It's 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's only like 50-something episodes, so don't worry.
I think I'm on, to be fair, I think I'm on like episode 7, so.
So there you go, you got a head start. Plus you've seen Code Ment, so you have a little bit of a grasp on what's going on. But then again, Code Ment is...
funny. Code Ment is funny.
What do you mean you're at soup? That's a reference to Code Ment, which is a Code Geass abridged series by YouTuber Purple Eyes FTW, I think they're called. You can look them up too.
Yeah. They also did Nun Piece.
Yeah,
Probably
None
heard
Piece,
it.
but I didn't watch that. So, anyways,
Nobody watched One Piece.
Actually, I think we should do this in a different way. Okay, what do you guys want us to review? I'm gonna do a straw poll in the comments, and
if we get any.
we're gonna choose between, if we get any. And we're gonna choose between Code Geass and what should we choose here? Should we choose
Cowboy Bebop. Code Geass and Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop? Okay, we'll do that. So between Code Geass and Cowboy Bebop, which one we should do next? And we will have the straw poll open for how long?
Should we wait 1 week to do our next episode?
I was just about to say a week or 2 weeks. That way.
Okay, let's do a week then.
Yeah.
We'll do a week.
You've seen Code Geass, Cowboy Bebop, right, Austin?
No, I have not, but I will now have to make sure to watch it.
27 episodes.
27? I can do that.
Yep.
Well, it's about 27, right, Michael?
26, if I remember correctly.
Always put it up on the wiki.
Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop has a grand smack dab total of
Man, this is going to be an editor's nightmare.
26 episodes.
Yeah, 26.
Well, okay, 26
And-
episodes.
I am the encyclopedia of this, not Holden from Holden Reviews. As cool as that would be.
So,
So there you go. Leave it in the
Oh,
comments.
that's-
Which one should we watch next? Code
Um,
Geass, or review next, I mean. Code Geass, Cowboy Bebop.
let us know. And if you like what we're doing, if you want to see more, like, comment, and subscribe.
And-
I'm the
Also,
doc.
for those people out there who are like, what are these scrubs talking about, man? Why am I here? This is our first podcast.
It's our first
so-
episode. It's experimental. Odds are we're going to do a
Very
re-upload
awesome.
with more professional equipment. This is our
Yeah.
getting the hang of it, and we're most likely going to improve drastically in the near future.
We're doing this in 10-minute clips. It's a nightmare for Austin, who's going to be our editor.
So be gentle. It's our first time.
Podcast virgins.
All right, I think that's about it.
But-
So yeah, we give Gurren Lagann a 25.5 out of 30. So we recommend watching that. Make sure to do so, and then tune into our next episode in about 1 week or so.
So,
And
For Austin.
final thoughts of I'm the doctor, that's Johnny, and that's Mustard.
the good, the bad, the
I'm gonna
mustard.
go
Signing
boy.
off.
The good, the bad, and the mustard.